Hey, it's me, Unapologetically T, and I am here with T's reflection, T's and thoughts. I don't know what to call it, but I'm here. And I enjoy saying that now. Like, I'm here. I'm here, bitches. Like, no, like, really. I'm here. So just reflecting for my birthday. I made like 1,000 videos for my birthday too. It was fun. It's been really fun. But yeah, for my birthday, reflecting on my growth. Like, I always reflect. Like, you know, we started this journey out together. If we started out together, or if you came along the way, or if you just now finding these videos, you know, I'm big on reflection and not so much on rumination. If you ruminate your thoughts, it really, really can drive you insane, and then you can create this personal hell for yourself internally. So I'm not big on ruminating on, you know, what happened in the past or whatever that is, like that little cycle that you can get into. I've been there, don't want to go back there. However, I do enjoy a good reflection. Reflection allows me to see my growth. Reflection allows me to see just so many different aspects of myself. Reflection allows me to process certain stuff. Maybe I didn't process before. Excuse me, I just ate. Alright, so I really enjoy reflection, and I've grown so much from last year. Last year, I had just lost my partner that I was with for 11 years. One of the most devastating things I've probably ever been through, besides sexual abuse, but it being burned alive. Well, you can't compare trauma. I made a video on that earlier, so it was like, I would just say, one of the most devastating things, because it was one of the most. I've been through a lot of devastating things, and but that was one. It was really tough. It was hard because the relationship had turned very, very dark, and it was very violent in nature. I was very much fighting for my life to survive and live, and not end up, you know, on the news. It's like, you know, she was so nice to everyone. You know, like when everybody just forget all the bad shit you've done, like how I cuss you the fuck out. Like, you're like, oh, she was, you know, she was just such a good person. Like, her presence and her aura when she walks in the room just shifts the energy, and this is a true fact. Like, but everybody's gonna focus on that and not focus on all aspects of me, which was a hoot. And last year afforded me the chance to reflect on all those things that people probably wouldn't say at my funeral. And it's like, people probably wouldn't say, you know, like, the T-Pass is crazy. Like, the T-Pass, you get her wrong. She's crazy. She'll smack the shit out of you. Like, but I don't do that no more. Like, I've been stopped smacking the shit out of people. I stopped that on my own before that happened. I made that decision when I said I was going to be in the professional world. When I was going to be in the white man's world, I said I was going to stop smacking the shit out of people. I guess I'd have to sue. So I'm happy I did come to terms with that before I got to that point. I learned not to put my hands on people. Now, there were still insinuating circumstances that would get you hit. There is a thing called personal space and self-defense. So, and I'm for all of them. So, yeah. As you can see, I was a person that needed a lot of growth and a lot of help to do it. But I had to learn to help myself the way that I helped others. The same help and love and care and compassion and grace and mercy that I gave other people was the same thing I had to give me myself. And I'm happy I did that. If you're new to this channel, I smack, I pop, I do all those things. I do them subconsciously. And it's just a part of me. I ain't trying to be perfect. I'm just trying not to be toxic, if that makes sense. So, growth has been a big part of enjoying my birthday. It's just realizing how much I've grown. Treating myself has been a big part of my birthday. Just doing the things for myself that I would have expected my partner to do for me for my birthday was really fun, because I got to pick out, my own stuff. Like, I love surprises, don't get me wrong, but it felt good to like literally treat myself, pick out my own restaurant, because I was very much used to like him surprising me. And it's actually funny because when we were at our brokest, the gifts that he would give me actually meant the world to me. And because I know that like he literally, what he had to go through to get them. So those gifts meant the world to me, like receiving, cars and shit. It could be rose petals on the floor, like, leading up to a gift. Like, I remember one year, like, he had got me, and I had to grieve too on this day. It's very fucking funny, and it's a lot. I'll get into that too. But I remember one year, this probably was Valentine's Day though. Like, it wasn't even my birthday. I think it was like Valentine's Day. Like, this man ain't had nothing really. And he went out, and I came home, and like it was rose petals all on the floor, and like it was like a heart leading up to there was a heart once I got to the bedroom, and then there was like chocolate covered strawberries and some other little pastry. And I like to color, so like he knows that I like to color. I seen somewhere online where they said like all the crazy girls have coloring books. and hey, I love the color, but I just remember like it was this Crayola metallic marker set that he had got me, and I loved the way that they had colored, like they were really pigmented and metallic-y, like they delivered. So and then I had some other colors. I can't remember, like I think he did color pencils like from Crayola, and he had bought me like a new coloring book, and it was like a Psalms coloring book too, so that was cool and dope. Like a lot of people think that because I don't claim not just one religion, I actually claim them all. That I don't be into spiritual stuff, like I don't be into religious texts and stuff, but I actually have read a lot of religious texts. So I'm not opposed to the Bible. I just know that the Bible is very contradictory. That's all. There's still good things in there. You should utilize them. But I've gotten on topic. Anyway, so I remember small stuff like that, and then I had a card and a teddy bear. Oh my gosh, I remember that teddy bear. Like, but it was the small stuff like that that I realized, like, I can do this stuff for myself. I appreciate it when other people do it for me. However, I needed to learn that I can treat myself. Like, there are moments in my life where I have been completely miserable expecting other people to make me happy. And when it comes to men, I expect men to save me from whatever the fuck it is I'm going through emotionally. And last year, I was blessed and afforded to like realize, like, and go through, not even just realize, but go through the process of being. And if my skin looks white in any fashion or form, I did a float thing, a float tank. Two friends recommended me separate times, and I was just like, the second time it was recommended, I was like, let me go ahead and try this. And I'm happy I did, but it was like a purge. I thought I'll talk about that later. But so if you do see any like white residue or anything like that, I just came out of like a soap tank with salt. So anyhow, so yeah, I last year had the chance to just purge a lot of shit in me that like was not needed and not aligned with where I want to be and where I'm going, where I'm headed. And I like to think at every moment I'm where I'm supposed to be at, regardless of how much I like it or dislike it, or I'm where I'm exactly supposed to be at, and everything will end up working out and falling into place. Like, I'm tired of running. Whatever, however, whatever it looks like when it works out, it will. And I'm okay with that. But to say that I literally was the type of person that just felt like, definitely when it came to like my romantic partners, I put too much on them to make me happy. And I did realize, like, like, this ain't right. And I think a lot of the things I've realized about myself before I even got to this point, because I have to be clear that I did not just start when he died. This has been a build-up. Since I was a kid, I knew something was wrong. Like, I knew that my home life was wrong. I knew that my responses and my reactions to people were wrong. When I felt like I was being taken advantage of sometimes, like, like being triggered. That's what I say. Like, not the actual, like, full-fledged people are abusing people, like, just even being triggered by people. Because I was abused. Like, I knew my responses were wrong. I used to ask for help as a child, but because my parent didn't have the knowledge of mental health, her answer was, to pray about it and to not get medical treatment due to, if I did, I wouldn't be able to be successful in life. So she thought that's a big ass misconception. Even the psychiatrists need a psychiatrist sometimes. I'm not gonna even hold you. And I've met a psychiatrist, white bitch, that literally, she needs a psychiatrist, and she needs not to work with black people. I don't know what she doing, but she don't need to be there. And I just called justice on her with God. And I was like, I'll leave that to God. She'll find the right one. She'll pick the right one to play with. So, but yeah, like, we all know. And when I say that, I mean that. I meant it the way I said it. I know my delivery be wrong, but I don't be giving a fuck. Like, people's actions be wrong. and I've had a lot of compassion for people who have wronged me, and I have no more. I don't have any more left. And it doesn't come from like this extreme place of anger. It literally just comes from a place of, I'm sick and tired. I will be calling out bullshit when I feel like calling out bullshit. And there will be times where I don't feel like calling out bullshit, and I won't. So, what was I going to say? But yeah, I got on that track that I didn't just start healing down. And I knew something was wrong for a while now. So, last year I was afforded to work through all those things. I still am working through all those things. So don't sit here and feel like, oh, in a year she figured out her life and, you know, everything's all right for her and, you know, her life is all peaches and cream as we speak. My car has broken down I don't know how many times within the last year. I've just gotten parts replaced on it and yet another issue is happening. So as we speak, I go through things, but I think it's that I don't care. I don't even want to say I don't care no more. Like, I am not fully bothered by life happening. Life gonna happen. And it's your ability to adjust to life happening that makes life a lot easier for you. There are moments when it is completely fucking okay to have a fucking moment. I just advise you to have moments with people that feel safe to you. But yeah, men were a big thing for me. It was a big issue. I was always picking ones that were just as damaged as I was or more. And I did it because that was my norm. I grew up around a lot of chaos and confusion, and chaos and confusion was my norm. And it's not anymore. Like, I really enjoy fucking peace. I really enjoy peace. I literally will cut you off for anything that disrupts my nervous system. And I'm not just talking about no triggers. I'm talking about them games people play. If you come around here playing them fucking mind games, and I ain't talking about no mind games where we about to have fun. I'm talking about them mind games where you trying to play with me. Cut. And I've grown because I used to be so afraid of cutting people off. It's like I had to give you chance after chance after chance after chance just to make sure that the signals and the messages I was receiving was correct. Well, baby, I am going to accept the signals and the messages that you send me right away. If it don't align with me, it don't align with me. I have not lost anything to cut you off. If anything, I've protected you, saved you, because you are about to fuck around and find out with my ancestors, my spirit squad, with God, all that. Like, the angels, all that. You about to find out. So I've actually spared you and me. So I've spared me the heartache, and I've spared you the ass whooping they're gonna put on you. So I'm just, you know, thankful that I'm in a space where, like, I can literally cut people off without feeling guilt or shame that I've cut them off. I'm happy that I'm in a space where I realized I was chasing men because, number one, I chased men, and my chasing men was retarded too, because it was like I would chase men, but I'd also be avoidant. I'd also be shut down. But so I did all of it. I was anxious in a relationship. I was avoiding in a relationship. It was just disorganized chaos. And I realized that I always, and that came kind of like to me today. Like, I used to chase men because, number one, the trauma that I endured from my biological father, literally the inappropriate touching was fucked up. And then on top of the inappropriate touching, he was very, like, inconsistent, which I'm grateful for it now. I am grateful for that now, that he was inconsistent in my life, because God forbid if he was actually around in my life, I think sexual abuse would have been worse. So that's a thing, and I'm I'm healing with that. I work my way through that. It's a process. It's fucked up. But I literally experiencing that was actually fucked up on my psyche. Like, it made me feel like I had to prove to men that, you know, I deserved to be loved. Like, because my father wasn't a father. And then I felt like I had to prove to men that I deserved to be loved with my lady parts. But I'm so much more than that. Like, oh my fucking God. What in the fuck? Oh, okay, so I'm driving and it's Virginia. So if you're from Virginia, then you fucking know. So excuse me and my language and my rage. But it ain't even, you ain't saying rage yet. But I don't really, my rage is cool. Like, my rage feels fine. Rage feels fine. So that was just a irritant. But yeah, so I used to chase and think that I had to use my lady parts to basically, like, I guess, like, get attention or get a man. And I always knew, like, I was smart. Like, I was smart. Like, my beauty is my smartness, and my beauty is outside of my physical appearances. My beauty is my intellect. My beauty is my energy. My beauty is me. Like, I'm unique and there's only one me. And I used to always feel like, because boys wasn't, like, really after me, they was after a lot of girls. I look back on it now, and a lot of girls was putting out, and I wasn't at that age. So because I was going through things. And so I'm happy that the boys wasn't coming after me. But I was real, like, tomboyish too. I was really rough. I was really mean. I was really, like, kind of standoffish when it came to that. I did not give out hot and ready. Like, did not give out hot and ready. I gave out homie. Like, I gave out homie. I gave out, oh, she really cool. She real. She a down ass bitch. Like, I gave out those vibes. Like, I gave out smart, which I hate that I used to give out smart, because I felt like when I would give out smart, people wouldn't think that I should be able to make mistakes. And I was like, but I'm fucking living a human experience. And there's a lot of pressure growing up. But anywho, back to the men problem. But because I had made a big discovery, and I was like, it ain't even just the men. Like, so like, when I say it's not just the men, it's not just my father figures that fucked me up with men. My mother did too. My mother always used to tell me, like, shit about men from her experiences. And so I always had this ideology that what I thought, you know, I should expect from a man was unrealistic. All I wanted when I was a little girl was for a man to be faithful, a man to love me for me. And really, that's all I ever wanted out of a partnership. And I wanted a partnership, like someone who was literally going to be a father. And I just think I was supposed to cook and clean by myself. And, like, it was a partnership. And because I always knew I wanted to, like, I knew I wanted to be more than a homemaker. I knew I wanted to be a boss myself. So I knew that at an early age. Like, I knew I would be my own breadwinner and all that stuff. And, like, I want a man who has his own and he can provide, but I want to be able to solidify my own legacy and who I am in this world and make my own mark in this world as well. So I always knew that. And she would always project her limiting beliefs on me, like, the only men that don't look at other women are gay, and the only men that she never met no man that didn't cheat, and you can't trust men, and all that shit. And then I would dispute her down, but then when I would grow up, literally, those were the type of men I would end up picking. And not only just her projection of her limited experiences with men affected me and how I thought I was supposed to seek love was, I felt like with my mom, there was a lot expected out of me. So I really got a lot of good attention when I did good things. So like if I did really good in school, which I usually did, if I did, you know, anything she asked me to, like she did give out lots of praises. But the moment I got something wrong, like I was tore the fuck apart. So I literally looked at my self-worth as what I could do right. And so I'm like constantly trying to prove, and it's not just men, but I was just focusing on men because I needed to heal that wound of how I view relationships with fucking romantic partners, because I don't want that shit no more. I don't want no toxic ass relationships no more. I don't want to show up toxic in a relationship no more. And in order for that to happen, I have to do healing, and I have to process what it is that's causing this in the first place. I don't agree with, you know, you attract with what you are and all that shit. Like, I feel like you choose what you used to. And that's how I put that shit. You choose what you're used to. You choose what you're used to. And I've seen some people choose some stuff that they weren't even used to. But for me, I say I choose what I'm used to. It wasn't that I was attracted what I was, because a lot of me and my partners, like, we had some similarities, but we were nothing alike as far as how I would treat people. I typically try not to hurt anyone unless they hurt me. And even still, I'm cautious about how long it's gonna take me to react. So I have a delayed processing in there, but I don't no more. What I was gonna say, but yeah, like, so because I was praised so highly, like I always tell people, like I felt like I was the golden child plus the black sheep. Like you just pick your pick. Like in front of people, it's like, oh, this is my daughter, this is her accolades, this is this and this is that, and it's like a show pony. And then behind closed doors is like the moment something go wrong in the house is your fault. It's your fault. And I don't think none of the stuff that my mom was doing, I've came to that realization too. I don't think none of the stuff my mom has done, is doing, was doing, is something that she even is subconsciously aware of. I think that she was broken, beaten, battered, and bruised herself. And the same with my father. And I think, you know, also with my stepfather, I think that was a certain set of issues that caused whatever happened. And I think subconsciously people are literally repeatedly abusing themselves and others because they haven't dealt with their own shit. But I no longer am excusing motherfuckers for that shit. Like, I can understand you, but that don't mean that I have to tolerate your behavior. I don't have to accept your behavior or none of that shit. But I think, like, she literally parented me better than she had got parented. But at the same token, it was still very abusive. So, and to this day, she was abused as a child, and she don't even realize she was abused. Like, me and Charlotte be trying to explain to her that was abuse, but she don't even realize it's abuse. And you better not say shit about her mama. And it's like, but that's our grandparent. Like, both things can coexist. She can be your mom, and she can also have got some shit wrong. And I think that was confusing for me too. Like, that I felt like love was pain. Love was severe pain, and love was severe highs, and the middle ground, who wants that? And so now I'm just like, please give me love that is aligned with me, a love that shows up the same way I can show up for myself. So that means that, like, in order for me to receive love externally, I have to continue to show up for myself. And I noticed that the more I show up for myself and I love myself, the more love God be giving me. Like, the more people he be putting in my life. And it's our responsibility to figure out where these people go. You have an inner circle. You have, you know, layers to these circles, if you want to call it a circle. I don't even label mine a circle. When I talk to some people, I tell them it's a dot. You're not included. Like, it's just me and the kid, because I'm getting a bad vibe. So it's not even. It's a field. That circle is filled. It's a period after that for some people. But yeah, you got a inner circle. You got like acquaintances. You got, you know, co-workers. But some of your co-workers do end up turning to family, because you got your family. You got chosen family. You got family you was born with. I have decided to claim the family that I have chosen. The family that I was born with that didn't make the cut. You know, I wish them all the best. I don't have no animosity or ill will towards nobody. I just had to cut a cousin off this morning because it was my birthday, and I got a text that said happy birthday, and it was like a day before my birthday, but I was in my own little world, and I was in my own little space, and I won't bother nobody. And the text basically was a nice text. It said happy birthday, even though your birthday, you know, it said happy birthday, but then the second text came, it was like, and I'm not saying verbatim, it's just like basically happy birthday, and then the second text came, it was like, well, it's tomorrow. Then I got a phone call the next day, and if anybody knows me, you know that I don't answer nobody's phone calls or text messages all the time right away. It's very, very few times will I do that. I've said this before, like, and it's not even now, it's not even about having like phone anxiety. It's just like, sometimes I'm just not in the space to socialize. Like, sometimes I'm just really not in the space to socialize. I have exerted my energy here, there, and everywhere, and I just don't have none left. And so I'm typically choosing myself, and I'm saying, hey, look, I can deal with this later, or I can call this person later. If it is an emergency, somebody's going to text me with any inkling of